Hi, I'm Evelyn. I'm one of the students. I'm going to be the therapist in our video today, and Meg is going to be Mrs. A. She's going to be my patient.
Hi, I'm Mrs. A. I'm here for my first therapy appointment. I am a costume designer and I live in a condo in the community.
Okay, so I'm going to start by asking you really general questions. Usually, how I start off my sessions. Where do you want to begin? Where shall we begin?
Well, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I live in a condo. My neighbors have been really inconsiderate. They're super loud. I feel really frustrated, and obviously it's a condo. I bought it, so I'm sort of stuck there right now, and I feel like this is a huge issue and I don't know the solution.
Okay, so you said you're having some sleeping issues in regards to your neighbors, but how do you communicate with them?
Generally, I'll just knock on the ceiling when they're being super loud and they ignore me, and then they get mad at me, and then they'll leave me notes saying I'm being passive aggressive, and then I just sort of ignore them in the hallways, and we have a really negative relationship.
Do you have any other positive relationships in the community or within your condominium?
Not really. I mean, the people at work are pretty nice, but I don't talk to them outside of work. I get really anxious around too many crowds, and I feel like no one really likes me because I'm so keeping to myself and independent, and I feel like sort of a loner, and I don't have many contacts.
Okay, so I hear you mentioning being alone, having anxiety, and not really wanting to communicate with other people outside. So, can you tell me more about your past, your history, your childhood?
Sure. So my parents had drug problems, so my aunt was nice enough to take me in, but she was always focused on her biological child, my cousin, and I don't think she meant to, but I felt sort of second to her and a bit abandoned because she wasn't really making me her focus when I was a kid. As a result, I think I was sort of distant from her, and I don't think she thought I appreciated her, which wasn't the case. I just think I needed more attention as a teenager and as a kid.
Okay, so were you able to communicate this with her? Like, did you guys have any times where you spoke about the communication between the two?
A lot of times, because I was so young, I think I would get more hostile towards her and distant, and then she would sort of get frustrated and pull away from me. Last Thanksgiving, we had a huge altercation over it, so we haven't spoken since, and I don't know if she's ever going to talk to me again.
Okay, I understand. So, and how's your relationship with your cousin? Do you guys speak? Does she know about what's going on between her mother and you?
She knows. She sort of just says she wants to stay out of it and that we need to work it out on our own. So, but she's aware that there was a huge altercation and she's sad about it and she wants me and my aunt to get along, but she doesn't know what to do to fix it.
Okay. So, do you think that maybe we can try to find something that you like to do to work on your anxiety and bring you more into a community of people, of positive people who can uplift you? Like, do you have things you like to do? Dance, run, anything?
I used to like to go to the gym, but once I got out of a routine, I stopped going, and then I sort of started to just focus on the fact that I had gained weight and I felt so, large and I wasn't fitting into my clothes. So I just sort of stopped going to the gym and I lost all of those people that I used to see at the gym because I stopped going.
Okay, so what I want to do is set a goal with you. It'll be a short-term goal that we can reach by the time we meet up again. I want you to find a gym and sign up for it.
Okay.
Something small, something simple, just as a first step, so then we can get back into something you love to bring something positive back into your life. So you said you like to run, you were at a gym, so let's just sign up for a gym. We don't have to start running yet or doing anything there. Let's just sign up for it and work from there. Would you be interested in doing something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, and I think starting new at another gym might give me a fresh start, and I might feel like I can accomplish some of my goals in terms of getting healthy again.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing. I'm glad that you want to do that as a short term goal. I also have another question for you. Because I hear you mentioning a lot about anxiety and possible depression as your history. Are you on any medications?
Yes, I take Prozac. For a while, I stopped taking it on my own, so a lot of my feelings of sadness sort of came back. And then I didn't have a doctor for a while because I was so focused on my job, so I missed some appointments.
Okay. So are you gonna get back into that, find a PCP, and get back into your medication regimen? Do you plan on doing that?
Yes, that's on my to do list. I need to get back on medications so that I can just feel better about myself. I just haven't had the time lately.
Okay. Not only that, we just need to make sure we're making a lot of short term goals. It's not always about medication. We can, uplift and feel a little bit better through complementary therapies. So maybe we can try some other things. What else do you like to do? Tell me other things that interest you.
I really like reading. I like walking. I love going to the beach. I do enjoy cooking. I also really love, you know, yoga and running and just staying really active.
Okay, that's very good. So these are some other things that we can possibly get into as alternative therapies to help you out when you're feeling kind of anxious or like depressed and low. We can try to see if we can, you can do in-home yoga. That's something that you could do. Put on a YouTube video. It's really big now.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we could do some other things to try to work around the whole anxiety and depression. Yeah, so, I have another question for you. Have you? I'm gonna go back to your childhood and your parents. Have you been in contact with either of your parents?
Not since I was a teenager. I think like almost 10 years ago, I was in contact with my mom, but my father's been in and out of jail because of his drug abuse, and my mom sort of is not that stable. She wants someone who has different cell phone numbers, has sort of different addresses. She's not always a consistent figure, from what I can understand. She'll occasionally reach out to me on social media, but I ignore it because it makes me sort of uncomfortable.
Okay. Do you think that maybe if you were able to have a sit down with your parents in like a therapy session, maybe with me, that we can, speak about it and get through that feeling of being uncomfortable and maybe break the ice and let your parents know how you feel and what, how the past affected you and how it's affecting you now? Do you think you could possibly do something like that? Maybe for a long term, not soon, but.
I think that's a good idea. I think I would feel more comfortable having you there. I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like they could leave or be hostile towards me or each other. That would be my biggest concern, but I would definitely be open to that in the long term plan.
Okay, that's good. Um,
That's what happens to me at home. My neighbors are always so loud, and this is what's triggering me.
yeah, I understand.
I'm not going to be able to move forward with my neighbors if they keep on making all this noise. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just so frustrating, and it just brings me back to my childhood.
So, do you have plans on possibly moving if you can, or are you going to stay there?
I think if it doesn't get better, I'm going to have to move.
Okay. Do you think that maybe you can find a way, like, make a schedule with them? Not to be intrusive or anything, but ask when they're like, because it sounds like maybe they have get-togethers, family over, parties, and kids, and so when they have like things going on, you can, either join them or go out, or.
I think that's a really good idea. I probably just need to communicate better with them and more directly instead of knocking on the ceiling and leaving notes. I think that might be a good long-term plan.
That would definitely be way better. Definitely finding a source of communication. So, do you have any other questions for me or anything else?
No, I think I'm happy with the way things are going, and it was nice to meet you, and I appreciate your advice.
Okay. And remember our short-term goal: signing up for the gym. That's the first step. Okay.
Perfect. I will. I will do that later on this week.
Okay. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.